Morning, this is Pam from NortheastWheelsEvents.com at the Susquehanna Valley GTO Pontiac Show 2014, and I am with Wilson Wolf III, who has a very unusual 69 GTO. It's a Ram Air 4, and yes, he even noticed the bumper is a little bit different color, but we're going to find out all about that. So, do tell us the history of your car, please.
Well, my dad, Wilson Wolf Jr., actually purchased the car brand new in 1969 from S&H Pontiac in Harrisburg. He special ordered the car as a Ram Air 4 with 1966 Barrier Blue paint, and when the car was being built, the factory called the dealership and said that they could not get the 1966 color to adhere to the new urethane rubber bumper. And the dealership had said to him, well, we got to figure something out. And he said, well, what are my options? The dealership said he could do chrome, and he said, I don't want chrome, it would look like a Tempest. He said, any other 1969 GTO color? He said, well, that would kind of look funny because it wouldn't match the Barrier Blue color on the body. He said, how about white? He said, I'm buying parchment interior in the car. He said, could you paint it white? And he said, yeah, we can paint it white. So that's how that happened. When I was a kid and we used to go to drag races with the car, he would drag race it, and people couldn't believe that he actually bought the car the way you see it. It wasn't until obviously being out there for a couple of years and people knowing the car, and his friends obviously vouched for him, that they said, oh yeah, that's that GTO that has a white bumper, you know, from factory and all that. So
the white nose, yes.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. Now, he raced it extensively?
Yes. Yeah.
Very good. Where did he run?
He ran at York US 30 most of the time, and also at South Mountain. It was also called Quarter Aces, the 8th mile track.
Cool.
A couple times went to Beaver Springs in New Media. One time went to 7580 with the car. I remember driving that time he drove the car down there and then raced it.
Jeez.
But yeah, those are his favorite places to go with it.
Very good. And of course, how many miles on it since new?
Now it only has 12,500. When I got it out of storage 4 years ago, it had 11,700 on it, which almost all of those are honestly drag race miles. I mean, he did drive to the track, you know, from up to like mid-70s, and then he towed it with another GTO he had. But yeah, it only has 12,500 original miles on it.
Oh my gosh. When did your dad put it into storage?
I'm going to say it's like around 78, 79. What happened was he broke the left rear axle, actually over at South Mountain, right off the line. He let the clutch out and the car didn't move. And then he put it in storage, had some health issues, some financial issues, and the car just sat.
Jeez.
And unfortunately, he passed away about 4 years ago. And that's when I asked my mother if I could have the car. She said, oh, he would definitely want you to have it. And then I joined the club here, and the club helped me get it out of storage, did all the work in my garage, and now it's out today. Now,
of course, when you say all the work, you did not touch a thing.
No. We just did the basics from sitting in storage, cleaning the gas tank out, recording the radiator, new rubber lines, new brakes, but the paint's original, interior's original. Didn't have to tear the engine apart, you know, just change the fluids.
Very good.
Start it right up.
Ah, that's amazing. I know you even kept the imperfections in the dents. Yeah. You were saying that your dad had one dent in the car.
Yes, one dent in the back bumper. I can remember because it was kind of a traumatic experience. I was probably only 5 or 6 years old, so it was probably like 69, 70, somewhere around there. Went to a friend's house. He had parked it on the street. You know, back then, people drove these cars. You know, it wasn't a big deal. And I remember somebody came to the neighbor's house, and when they were parking their car, tapped him in the back bumper, right in the center, put a dent. And I thought he was gonna. It was kind of traumatic for me because I remember how mad he was, and it was not a good good scene for that person.
No, I'm sure it was not. But meanwhile, the dent was never fixed.
Right. No, it's still right. It's still.
And you keep it in honor of your dad.
Yeah.
Oh, that is fantastic. That is fantastic. I'm going to take some good shots of the car. We definitely have to see this, because this is truly amazing. That's great. You didn't even tear anything apart. You just basically cleaned it. Now, of course, all of the stickers are...
All the decals are on when he raced it back, and he put them on, you know, between 69 and 72, 3, something like that.
Weber powered. Now, don't tell me you have a Weber carburetor on
there. No, that was a clutch.
Okay.
That was the clutch that he had. Now it's got the Zoom clutch in it instead.
Gotcha. Okay.
He changed that at some point. The Weber wasn't working as well. Then he bought a Zoom and put it in it.
Very good. Very good. And of course the white bumper showing her age, but she's all there. Now the tires are still bias.
Yes, they're actually reproductions though.
Okay.
The first time I had the car out, I did drive on the Goodyear original tires from '69. I drove it that first year on those, and people I talked to said, you better change them because you don't want to have an accident, have a blowout. But they held air. I mean, they were, like I said, I drove to 3 shows that year.
Oh gosh. But then again, you know, the big problem is that the traction of an old tire, they're rock hard.
Right.
This is amazing. Would you be so kind to open the door for me? Thank you. I'm going to zoom in here.
Now that's it, all the interiors, all over, except for the mats. I bought those about a year ago.
Oh, you have to. And of course your dad's happiness is low ET.
Yeah, yeah. You can tell he liked to race it. And he also put the shifter in the car back in the mid-'70s. He had a trouble missing 3rd gear a lot.
Right.
So he put the Mr. Gasket Vertigate in it.
Very good. I like the ram air. Of course, you can see the button for the ram air over there, the pull for it. What is that switch underneath the
That's for the backup lights.
Ah.
For the reverse lights. When he put the shifter in it, it changed the way the mechanism worked, so you needed a switch for it.
And again, bone stock original interior. That is amazing.
Yeah, people could never believe that, I was racing the car, it didn't get grease on the interior or something like that. He was pretty fanatical with the car.
That's for sure. Now, of course, we've got to check out the dent because we spoke so much of it. And you'll see it right in the center of the bumper there, that little
right
dimple.
There in the center, yeah.
Yeah.
I do have a new bumper, but I don't think I'll ever change it.
It's part of the history of the car, which is really wonderful. This is what makes it so unique. It's just beautiful. And you're only original once.
Right, that's right. That's exactly right.
And that is definitely a part of it. Yeah, your dad was definitely a racer.
All those decals were on, again, from the early 70s. I can remember going to the track when he did drive it on the street. He would always worried about the cops pulling him over, because back then, they didn't like you having a lot of stickers in the window. They were trying to give fines for people obstructing their view and stuff like that.
And especially driving around in such of a hot machine.
Right.
Just beautiful. Excellent. I really appreciate the interview. Oh, here's the build sheet.
Yep.
Hopefully that's going to come out. That is wonderful. Now we're going to end this. Again, Wolf, I thank you very much.
All right, well, thank you.
Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you at the next show.
All right,
This is Pam from NortheastWheelsEvents.com at the Susquehanna Valley GTO show in, where are we, Landisville?
Landisville,
2014. Make sure you check your wheels every week for shows like this.